وهو الذي مرج البحرين هذا عذب فرات وهذا ملح أجاج وجعل بينهما برزخا وحجرا محجورا.
Now, the analyst what lesson learned from this ayah.
This verse from the Quran, Surah al-Furqan, ayah 53, speaks about the meeting of two bodies of water, one sweet and fresh and the other salty, with a barrier between them. It's often interpreted metaphorically, teaching about the sign of divine creation and the diversity in the world. It highlights the boundaries set by God and the balance in nature, signifying lessons in observation, diversity, and the wisdom behind natural phenomena.
The provided verses are generally considered to be muhkamat, meaning clear and straightforward verses. The clarity of the verse lies in its explicit description of the creation of two seeds with different characteristics, one fresh and tasteless, and the other salty and bitter. The verse also mentioned that God has placed a barrier between them. The clarity of the description of the two seas, their characteristics, and the barrier between them make this verse easy to understand without the need for detailed interpretation.
The imagery used in this verse is clear,
giving a clear message of God's creative power and control over the natural elements. Although some aspects of the verse may have a metaphorical or symbolic dimension, the main message of the verse is clear and does not involve complicated allegorical meaning. Therefore, it is classified as muhkam, in contrast to verse that contain more figurative language or metaphors, which are included in the category of mutashabihat.
According to the scientific views, the boundaries between two oceans with different physical and biological characteristics are known as ocean climes.
The Atlantic Oceans and the Pacific Oceans have different densities and chemical compositions, salinity levels, and other qualities. This is what forms the barrier between the two, making it difficult for these two oceans to mix. This can clearly be seen from the color difference of the two different oceans. One of the most spectacular types of sea lines is called a halocline. When two oceans with vastly different salinities come together, a halocline forms when the two oceans do not mix. A halocline appears when the water in one sea or ocean is at least 5 times saltier than another.
In conclusion, this verse demonstrates how the Quran can prove any scientific theory.
It because the contents are infallible. Scientists can draw conclusions from their research based on the Quranic verses. Since each water molecule contains a piece of science, it is evident that this verse explains why the two oceans meet but do not merge.